So this video is about to showcase why the Pajero, the V model, the second generation V model, the V series, when it was launched in the early 90s, it is probably one of the most leading SUVs back then in terms of the development and the enhancements and many other aspects of the vehicle, right? And this what makes the Pajero truly unique, because it was born out of the Paris-Dakar Rally, and a lot of the development in terms of the tech and everything was, based on that competition. And of course, at the same time, Mitsubishi was filling in the market gap back then, because there was no really luxury grade SUV except for the Range Rover back then, and a lot of the companies did not look into this market. And even this version and the size of the vehicle was not available back then for the size, of course, for the compared to the L series or the first generation. So I'm going to take you through some of the cool features of the Pajero. Imagine it was back in the 90s. It was probably one of the most leading and probably one of the most well thought and designed SUVs back then. So this is the power window system, and of course today everything's modern, right? But imagine in those days, this was quite interesting, because if you look at this, once I press this, there is a tactile response. And then let's have it. Right? How cool is that? The multimeter in the middle, of course this is based out of the first generation Pajero design, but in those days it was quite rare to have SUVs to have multimeter like this, and this is already replaced. Previously there was an altimeter here and thermometer, right, that were able to detect inside and outside. I got this replaced because this is more practical for me. I don't really need the thermometer, because the temperature in Malaysia, it's almost constant every day, so there was really no need of it. The map light is truly unique as well. Imagine in those days you have to bring your map, and you need lighting like this to help you navigate through the night. So back then, of course, there was no Waze or there was no GPS for you to do that. The electrical power seat was something in the 90s, right? You would be able to adjust your seat like this. So it was, in the 90s, this is really something. So it's cool technology, but of course today it's fairly common. Everyone has it today. And seats like this, back in the 90s, this is really something, because as I said, it's a 7-seater vehicle. It's a combination of like a truck, like a van, and it gives a different level of feeling for SUV owners, because they did not have this previously, right? This kind of 7-seater arrangement, and even the seats are nicely designed, and you have a cup holder like this. So it gives, it fills that market gap back then for people to bring their families and join for trips and those kind of things, and give some comfort, a different level of comfort and utility for the family. And this is also what makes the Pajero truly unique. It's this part here, whereby this is actually a utility light that you plug into this power socket here. And what you can do with this, it has a long wire, right? So you can basically put it here like this, say for example you have a flat tire and this place is super dark, so you're able to just put this anywhere and get your vehicle fixed. So it has a magnet at the back. Right. This is not the original one. You're able to buy this actually from China already. Yeah, so this is cool. It's a really cool stuff from the 90s. You also have assist grip like this one here that actually came from the first generation. So after the during the second generation they brought in this same feature, and you're able to hold on to this as you ride on a rough terrain or something. But it's nice aesthetically for the design of the dashboard, and of course in today's context you don't need this kind of thing anymore. There's also a suspension system settings that you can change from soft or hard. Unfortunately mine is no longer working because they did not use the original absorber anymore, so there's no really way to make this work, but that's okay, that's not critical for me. And not to mention the legendary Super Select system by the Mitsubishi Pajero, which actually brought in this technology of full-time four-wheel drive to today's SUV. And because it was so great that it's a highlight of the Mitsubishi Pajero, so I decided to use this tire cover. Don't want to put anything else, right? So I like this simple Super Select four-wheel drive, really showing 90s technology. Even armrest like this, it was something back then. So as you drive the vehicle, it makes your journey more comfortable, and that is something was quite revolutionary back in the 90s. What is also cool is for those who are seated at the back, they also have the capability or ability to control the AC, so they can adjust, whether to get the speed of the air conditioner, low, medium, high, and they can also adjust the temperature. So everything was well thought of in those days. Typically in those days, the sunroof was really just meant for the front passengers, but for the Pajero it was slightly different because they want to make this as a vehicle for the family, for the typical Japanese family. So they designed the sunroof to be right in the middle of the cabin, a huge sunroof, and you get to enjoy the nice sunlight from outside, right? And even if you look at how it was designed, there's a texture to this. There's a texture to this compared to today's sunroof. And of course these meters here, it's so 90s. Everything is manual, everything is analog, and unlike today's vehicle you have all the digital meters and everything, but with these analog dials, it makes this a truly classic from the 90s. The headlight washer as well, this was made available in the first generation. So the second generation Pajero, they had this also, but of course much more well designed compared to the first. And the fender mirror. The fender mirror is basically a blind spot mirror for you to be able to help you navigate as you park your vehicle, because it shows the reflection from the front wheel arch, right? From the front wheel arch. So as a driver, you'll be able to see like how close it is to the curb, for example. So this was actually quite a technology back then, a simple technology. I'm not sure who started this, but a lot of the vehicle from the 90s eventually, especially the JDM or the Japanese domestic models, have this, like from Toyota and all other SUVs, and they have this already. but I don't remember the first generation of Pajero had this. So I think this was only introduced in the second generation. And the intercooler scoop was totally, it's a Pajero thing, especially the bonnet intercooler scoop, because I don't remember the previous versions of SUVs had this. So this was introduced from the first generation of the Pajero, and the intercooler scoop, as you know, basically scoops the air for the intercooler system, right, for the turbo system. So this is very cool stuff from the 90s. So that's basically what you can see the Pajero is all about. It's a vehicle from the 1990s, and how cool it is with all the different small gadgets for this vehicle. Of course there are more, and I hope that you would gain a little bit of interest for what the Pajero is all about, a Pajero Classic. And if you decide to own one, please don't think too much, just get one soon, and hopefully you would be able to enjoy it, because I always wanted this since I was a kid, and I'm very fortunate to be able to own one today. And I'm slowly restoring it to its original factory condition. And this, as you know, this is a Pajero V46 JDM from Japan, and you are not able to get this anymore. And even if you can get them, it's really difficult to get one that is still in its factory condition. So thanks for subscribing, and please leave your comments if you have any question. I'll be happy to help. And thanks for all the support, and I hope to connect with all the Pajero communities from all around the world. I'll talk to you again in the next video.